is day 11 of the challenge that we're doing. Of course, here you with no other than Dr. JH3. We're here again, or Dr. J Harris, that is, of course. I'm with you guys for another day 11, or another live, I should say, and day 11 for the challenge, of 25-day challenge that we're doing right now. Today's topic now, I'm gonna get right into it. I'm a little tired, and today's topic actually fits for I'm tired right now. I've been up going since 5 o'clock this morning, and it's been nonstop until now. So I want to make sure that, well, first of all, let me make sure I'm live and you guys can hear me loud and clear. I think I just seen the notification. Yep. Okay, perfect. I see it right here. Perfect. Okay, I can see it. Awesome. So, all righty. So let's get right into it here. I've been going all day, like I said, and I want to get right into this. And this topic fits for how I feel and how I know better to make sure I do better at this topic here. And the topic, of course, is sleep is sleep is a superpower. That's the topic for tonight. Sleep is a superpower. I have my notes I'm looking at right down here. I'll be looking at. So if you see me kind of drift off, I'm looking at my notes right over here. But sleep is vital. And I talked about, I think I did a 3-minute short, I think I did on sleep and how sleep is vital for us and how it affects our hormones and this and that. But with that said there, excuse me, with that said there, we're going to talk a little bit more about sleep and how crucial it is. And this, they always say sleep is very crucial um, for our growth when we're growing up, of course. And they say again, and I'll use this parable, that we're once adult, twice a child. And again, that means at the beginning of life, we'll say, just being born, all the way to say 12 years old or whatever. We'll keep it to 7 years old. What are we doing? A lot of times we're sleeping, of course, especially as a baby, we're sleeping all the time. Sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat. And of course, you get over, I think I always say like over 40. You get about over 40, even like 30, but mainly I would say over 40. That's when, again, those principles of sleep is vital, because our hormones are changing again when we get, around actually 30, 35, 40, especially 40, you start noticing a few things here and there. Excuse me, guys. Around 40, you start noticing a lot more things you start noticing, hormone-wise, that is. And sleep plays a big factor in hormones, nutrition, if you're tired the next day, just your mood, of course, fat loss, depression, your workout performance, if you're working out, your training, your immune system. All these factors play a role in getting sleep. And so sleep is a superpower. And that's why sleep is such a superpower to us. And sleep, I think I said this, I think I might have said this before possibly, but I'll say it again. It's that powerful to reiterate again that sleep is one thing that you can adjust. Like you can't adjust your work. You can't adjust, pick your kids up from school or go walk your dog. Or if you don't walk your dog may use the bathroom in the house. So it's one thing that you can negotiate is your sleep. That's one thing you have basic control of in a sense. Of course, certain circumstances, if you're in the military or something like that, or if you have a newborn baby, you may have to listen to someone else's drummer and all that. But when you can get sleep, of course. And that's what we always used to tell when I used to work with the military, and I used to do different training events for them as a civilian. I used to train them, so like that. And one training seminar I did I did it for AIT soldiers, and these soldiers just came out of basic training, and they were going to the duty station. They came down here to where I'm at right here now. And I remember when they're in AIT, they wouldn't get that much sleep. They wouldn't. They would be on what's called, I think it was called fire guard duty. I think that's called. Basically, when they had to stay up all night and cover, say if they're in war or something like that. They're acting like they're in war, of course, or something like they're in war. They would have to. Someone's always on guard of their area, and they would have to do I think it's watch guard duty. I think it's called. But anyways, they'll stay up all night long, but still have to go throughout the day. The next day, keep on going. So they're really preparing them for a war situation. And something we'll come over and talk to them, and we are doing a presentation. I'm doing a presentation for 400 people, 500 people here, and some of the guys will be nodding off like this, and they would hit them, and the sergeant, their drill sergeant would tell them, go stand by the wall here, and they would stand on the wall. Some of them fall asleep just standing up too, and they were sleep deprived. They were, and it's part of, I guess, the process of training and get ready for the war. But with that said, there, let me get back to the back to the story here. Is that sometimes you have your sleep, you can't control some stuff. So we always said in the military, when I worked for the military, I mean, when I worked for them, now I wasn't in the military, when I worked for them, I always do my training event. I said, control the controllables. And that's really what you can do, control the controllables. So myself, like tonight, I will be going to bed. Right now, it's 9:29 right now at night. And as soon as I finish this right here, I will be going to bed no later than 10:30. I'll be sleeping in bed by 10:30 here. If I can get the next day going here. My goal is to get at least 7 hours of sleep here. Probably want to get probably get about 6 hours of sleep tonight, but the goal is to get 7 hours of sleep for myself here. But let me get back on track here. But that's how important sleep is to me now. Before, when I was younger and all that, I would just go about my business and just do this, do that, just do all kind of stuff. It wouldn't even I wouldn't even have a set time to go to sleep. Now I'm trying to get to sleep, when I can, because sleep is really vital. And I said a few things already. I said, step up your metabolism, help out with your hormones, mood, fat burning, your metabolism, of course, your fat burning, your workout, immune system. All this is affected by getting enough sleep. Absolutely, by getting enough sleep there. So let's talk about. So I want to break something down to you here. There's I want to read this off. I got to read this to you. I got to read this to you. I got to read this word for word for you guys. So this is something I wrote here. This is beautiful stuff here. You can eat clean, work out, but if your sleep is trash, your progress will be slow. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is recovery, repair, and reset. Let me read that. Let me say that again. Sleep is not just rest. Sleep is recovery, repair, and reset. Let's just think about that. Think about that. Really take that in. What sleep is about. It's amazing what sleep is. And when you really get into good night's sleep, man, you feel amazing. That's why actually I watch track my sleep. Of course, my watch. Some people use an Aura ring. Some people use the Whoop band. Some people use that. I'm actually thinking about actually getting me something like an Aura ring. I'm thinking about getting. But I want to introduce you tonight, because we know the reason why we should get enough sleep, and I want to help you get a better sleep here. Not just tonight, but just every night here. And one way to do that is something called the 3-2-1 method. The 3-2-1 method. And this is part almost close to like sleep hygiene. Yeah, a sleep hygiene system here. And what I mean by that is that 3 hours before you go to bed, don't eat anything. 3 hours before going to bed. That's what you have to, so now you have to plan things out here. 3 hours before going to bed, you don't want to eat anything. And why that is, you probably ask yourself, why do you think that is? Put down in the comments why you think that is. Why you should not eat 3 hours beforehand. And the simple answer to that, and I'll give you a few seconds here. The simple answer to that is that you want your stomach to not, you don't want your stomach working when you're trying to sleep, because you're sleeping. And of course, you have food in your stomach, which your stomach's gonna try to digest that food there. So your body's gonna be working, and you want your body to be at rest now. You want to get a good night's sleep. So you want to sleep 3 hours. So 3 hours beforehand, before you go to sleep, no food. 3, 2, 1. Two is, of course, stop working. Yes, stop working. So no emails, no business plans, no stressful conversations. Your brain needs time to wind down. And I can testify to the stressful conversation. I really can testify to this right here. And I have a good friend of mine, and he'll call me up sometime a little late at night and stuff like that. Good friend of mine, really cool guy, and we'll talk and stuff. There are some great conversations we have. But I know every time we talk late at night, say we talk maybe after 10 o'clock we'll talk, maybe 10 to 11 we'll talk, or 11 to 12, something like that. But even on a weekday we'll talk. And when we're talking everything, I know that what's gonna happen after we finish, we hang up and everything. I'm gonna be wired up, ready to go, and I'm fired up here, ready to not go to sleep. I'm ready to do some other things and all that. So it's like, okay, so what am I do now? So then I get my laptop, and now I'm doing business work, business planning and stuff like that. So now I'm thinking about other avenues and all that, because our conversation is really a really good conversation we have going back and forth, and it excites creativity in me of maybe thinking about, oh, maybe plan this out, maybe I can do this, and it really gets me going, stuff like that and everything. So no stressful conversations you should have, or anything that really excites you and everything like that. You cannot go from go mode to sleep mode instantly. I know I can. My And I'll tell you now. I'll tell you now. My optimum sleep pattern for me is uh, managing the eating 3 hours beforehand. Definitely no conversation that will excite me or anything like that, or really get me, asking questions and and really talking about different events and current events going on in the world, so like that. Anything like that, 2 hours beforehand, I need to just no phone before 30 minutes, and also too, I need to take a shower, probably about maybe about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, probably about 2 hours beforehand, take a shower, and that really brings me down a notch there. And I do that right there, then I can get some amazing sleep I can get that night. And also to put on some white music, white noise music, of course. Maybe I don't know if you heard of the group called Enya. Enya out there is called. That's Enya, or there's some other groups out there, like maybe some jazz music, maybe some rain. Really like background white noise music. I could put on that, be perfect. So part of the 3-2-1 method is another one here. 1 hour before you go to bed, no screen time. No screen time before 1 hour before going to bed. That means no laptop. That means no phone. That means no TV. The blue light, of course, from those devices there, what they do, they actually decrease your chance, decrease melanoma from being, excuse me, um, yeah, melatonin, excuse me, melatonin being produced, of course. Melatonin, of course, actually helps you go to sleep. It decreased chance of it happening all that. And also too, it messes up your circadian rhythm and thinks it's light outside. So if you think it's light out, your brain thinks it's light outside, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna stay up. You're gonna think it's daytime, so then you're gonna stay up and all that and keep on going. So the 3-2-1 method, I want to make sure we got this 3-2 message. So 3 hours before going to bed, no food. 2 hours, you want to stop working. And then 1 hour, you want to get off your screen that is there. Yep. And you want to do that right there. What happens when you get better sleep? What happens when you get better sleep? Okay, it's a total opposite of things that go wrong when you don't get enough sleep. Same, you know what happens here. These are things that you want to happen in your life. I'm actually gonna read this list off here. You want to, you burn more fat. Absolutely, definitely. I've seen that happen when I get better sleep. I really focus on my sleep. It's amazing what happens. Recovery is faster, and especially as I get older here, I'm seeing this definitely need my sleep for recovery. And of course, when you're younger, say you're 5 years old or so like that, you need your sleep for growing. Now I need sleep for recovery and holding on to everything that I have that I built up so far right now, built up in body wise and just overall. I need it now, even more so now. That sleep, that is, of course, I'm talking about. I wake up with energy. Absolutely. When I get enough sleep, I'm wake up with energy. I'm ready to go. Most I'm ready to go anyways, because I'm just wired that way about life and everything. Make better food choices. Absolutely. When I don't get enough sleep, I'm craving all day. I'm trying to snack on this, and next thing you know, I'm just eating to be eating, and it's wild how that happens there. I have fewer cravings. Absolutely, I have fewer cravings. My mind is sharper. Absolutely, my mind is it's like this. It's amazing when I get enough sleep. You build more muscle. These are all the advantages of getting more sleep. It's amazing. And I want to read this to you here. Better sleep, better health. Better health, better life. Let me read that again. Better sleep equals better health. Better health equals better life. Come on. Come on. You can't go no better than that. You can't get any better than that. So 3-2-1 method is a way to go. I want to challenge you tonight to use that method tonight. If you're seeing this now, or if you see this 2 days from now, I want you to challenge you to just try it out one night. Just try it out one night and see what happens. You know, you need to put down the distractions down. You have to tell people no. And that's another one there. I should do a video on that, of telling people no. And that word there is so, it's another thing about the once adult, twice a child. You think about like a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old a lot of times can say, a lot of times they can say a lot of um, two-letter words they can say. Excuse me, 2-letter words. I'm tired right now. 2-letter words they can say, like the word no. A 2-year-old can say the word no big time. But you talk to a 40-year-old person, they barely can say the no to some of their close friends and stuff like that. Maybe when they need to get some sleep, or they have a goal they're trying to shoot for, say a business they're running, and now they need some, they have to be focused on their own business, but they can't because they're trying to satisfy other people. It's a challenge. Don't get me wrong here. Don't get me wrong. It's a challenge, but you want to get your sleep in, and you want to make yourself a priority of getting that sleep there. So to wrap this up in a big bowl, 3-2-1 method. Sleep is crucial for you. It helps out in many factors of sleep here. Helps with fewer cravings, of course, here. A sharper brain, build more muscle. And again, better sleep, better health, better life. 3-2-1 method is the way to go here. With that said, sleep's not a luxury. Sleep is your superpower. Try it out. Day 11 of the 25-day DRJH3 Health and Fitness Challenge. We're working out for 25 minutes. We're working out for. This is day 11 here. You can join us at any time. You may be seeing this for the first time right here on day 11. You can do this right now. Because the whole thing, this whole challenge, you seeing this, it's if you clicked on this video here, this live here, now or even when you watch the replay, it's saying something that you need to do now. And I say start looking out for your health. No matter if you're 19 years old, if you're 20 years old, if you're 40 years old, if you're 50 years old, look out for your health. Absolutely. They say health is wealth. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Health is wealth. And I work with someone that was, this gentleman and his wife, they sold their business they both sold their business for about $3 million. They sold their education business. And so they're living off the investments of that. They invested their money and living off about $90,000 a year they invested, and they live off of. That's basically what they have off of investing that money. And their house is paid for. The house, I think, was worth like $1.2 million as well. So they're doing pretty well. During the time of getting there, they didn't get that much sleep. Health was here and there. They almost lost a house 3 times in the process of getting to where they're at now. Now these individuals are in their 80s now. But one thing he did say is that if I could do everything all over again, I would want to have taken better care of my health. That's what he said. And I was like, for real? He said, yes, for real. I wish I would took better care of my health along the process. I didn't, he said. And of course, that's why him and we met because of his health and stuff like that. And but lucky he did have, some money in his pocket to actually take care of himself, all that. But it's a nice fine balance too. It's a challenge. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a challenge to, if you have goals you're shooting for, but at the same time, you have family, you have school, but at the same time, you need to get sleep too on top of that. You need to work out, you need to train, you need to eat properly, you need to cook at home. It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. And the best thing I can say to it is just try to find that balance there. But I definitely, if I were you guys, get that sleep. That's what I can say. Get that sleep. It's nothing like it at all. But with that said there, I'm going to get off this right now. We've been on for about 17 minutes. We've been on here, and we're counting down. I'm getting to bed. I'm going to sleep. Be in bed by 10:30. Hope you guys do the exact same thing. Get some sleep. And, also to set a time. So one other thing to do, set a time. But a 3-2-1 method really works out, of course. 3-2-1 method we're talking about here is 3, no eating, 3 hours before going to bed. 2, of course, here, nothing excites you, no work 2 hours beforehand, no work, emails, no exciting conversations, nothing to stimulate you, basically, in a sense here. And then 1, of course, 1 is no screen time 1 hour before going to bed. You guys take care of yourself. I'm Dr. JH3. Join our challenge, of course, which is day 11 of the 25-day challenge of 25 minutes of working out every day. Take care of yourself, guys. Share, like, and subscribe. We'll talk to you very soon. Dr. JH3.